Are you planning a trip to Mongolia, or is it just something that's on your bucket list? I highly recommend that you go. It's one of my favorite places, and in this video I am going to share with you my top 5 things to do in Mongolia. Mongolia is one of those places that not a lot of people go to, but when you do, it is just one of those magical places that is unlike anywhere else that you've been before. I highly recommend that you take a trip to Mongolia if you're looking for some adventure and a little bit more uniqueness to your travels. When I went to Mongolia, I did a whole lot of different things, and I'm so glad I did, but I still want to go back for more. But when you are going for your first time, these are my top 5 things that I think you should be doing when you visit Mongolia. Now, the number one thing that you should be doing is booking a tour. Getting around Mongolia is hard and long, and it's not something that you want to be taking on yourself. When you are outside of Ulaanbaatar, you have very few people around. It's like there's no one around. The distances are vast. The country is huge, and there's no street signs. There is paved road for a little while, but you are going to mostly be driving on makeshift roads, grass, the desert, the everything. So there's nothing that you can really follow unless you know where you're going. And finding people along the way to ask, one, you have to find people. Two, you have to speak the language, because anywhere outside of Ulaanbaatar, you're going to have a hard time finding people that speak English. And knowing Mongolian is no easy feat. I found it one of the most difficult languages to speak and to learn. I would highly, highly recommend getting a tour. Now, I used Sunpath Tours and I would recommend them. I had a great time with them. I would also recommend that you book the tours when you are in the country versus online. I found there was a huge price difference, so that you're able to do some negotiation when you are in the country. So if you can spare a day or two, figure out the tours and which ones you're going to go with, I would highly recommend doing it that way. Number 2 is go during Nandam Festival. Now, this was such a cool experience to go to. It happens in the summer. I think it's in June or July, beginning of July or end of June. It is their main festival every year, and it is a big deal. Now, their main one is in Ulaanbaatar, and it has all the pomp and circumstance that you can want with one of these festivals. But it is hard to get in on the action because you're in the stands of a grand stadium. What I would suggest is getting to one of the local villages, because the festival happens at all different villages at different times throughout the month. So you want to make sure that you're going to one so you can get nice up and close action to all of the events. You can build this into your tour. I did it through a tour. It was just part of the tour that I was doing, and we were there for all the main events. Number 3 is you want to ride a Mongolian horse. Now, they're world famous, so when in Mongolia, do as the Mongolians and get on a horse. These are small horses compared to, American and British standards and stuff like that. So they almost seem like pony size, which is great, but don't call them ponies. They are not ponies. They are fast as heck, and they are so much fun. This, again, was built into my tour, was horseback riding. And you have horse guides with you and being able to set everything up. And it's just really wonderful. And make sure when you are on the horses that you go super fast. It is one of those experiences that you just don't come across a whole lot in different places. And it is one of those things that you will look back and just say, I am so glad I did that. Number 4 is you want to visit the Gobi Desert. Now, the Gobi Desert is different to most other deserts. It was kind of shocking of when I went to it. I wasn't expecting it to be what it was. I found that in most other deserts, you have hills and hills and hills as far as the eyes can see of sand and dunes and everything like that. The Gobi Desert I found is you have dunes coming out of the ground in lines and stuff like that, but then you have like grass all around it. So it's just a very unique desert, and it is really cool to see. And then lastly, since you will be spending time in Ulaanbaatar, because that's you're going to be in and out of anyways, is that you want to hit up the black market. This is where you're going to find cool things to pick up from souvenirs from your trip. You can get great leather riding boots or just boots in general. And then you have the clothing. I picked up a hat. Like, there's just a lot of stuff that you can get at the black market. Now, one thing I will highly recommend that you do is that you keep a very close eye on your bag, your purse, your wallet, your cell phone, everything. Have it in front of you. Don't have it in your pockets. Make sure your bag is closed and secure, because thieves are out in full force there. So we actually watched people trying to standing behind people who had kind of like an open purse and just reach in and pull out the wallet. One of the guys in our group definitely yelled out, and she didn't get away with it, but the other people had no idea that that was going on. So you want to make sure that you have a close eye on your belongings when you're going to one of these places. Also keep a close eye when you are at the festival, because thieves are rampant there. I got all my stuff stolen. So definitely keep an eye on your items so that you don't get anything stolen. So I hope this gives you some inspiration on when you should go and what you should be doing when you are booking your trip. If you have any more questions, please feel free to put them down in the comments below. I would love to answer them for you. If you want to subscribe to my channel, I talk everything about travel and photography. So if that is something up your alley, hit that subscribe button. Other than that, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I will talk to you next time. Bye.